Take a moment. Close your eyes. Picture this. You wake up one morning just like any other day. But when you try to swing your legs off the bed, they feel like jelly. You stand and instantly regret it. Your knees buckle slightly. You catch yourself on the nightstand, heart pounding. Later, when you reach for a glass of water, your hands tremble ever so slightly. The glass almost slips. Fear creeps in. What's going on? You haven't been sick. Nothing dramatic happened overnight. So why does your body feel so weak? Now open your eyes, because here's the part no one tells you. This kind of silent weakness often starts decades before you even notice. There's something working inside your body, bit by bit, stealing your strength. No warning signs, no pain, just quiet, slow erosion. And it has a name, sarcopenia. Sarcopenia might sound like something out of a medical textbook, and in truth, it is. But the effects? They're very real, very human, and very common. By the time you're in your 50s, your body begins to naturally lose muscle mass. It starts so gradually that most people chalk it up to getting older. That nagging weakness in your legs, the occasional stumble on the stairs, the way getting up from a couch suddenly takes more effort than it used to. It all feels normal, except it isn't. Sarcopenia was officially recognized by the World Health Organization as a disease. Not a condition, a disease. That means it's not just what happens with age, it's a diagnosable medical issue. The scary part is how silently it works. There's no fever, no sharp pain. It's not like arthritis or a bad back. Sarcopenia doesn't shout, it whispers. Until one day, you find yourself wondering why you feel so unsteady on your feet. According to a study from Harvard Medical School, even if you're eating well and staying reasonably active, you could lose up to a third of your muscle mass after the age of 60. That's right, 33% gone. And the worst part? It often starts long before that, sometimes even in your 40s or 50s, especially if you've led a mostly sedentary lifestyle. That gradual loss of strength is not your imagination, it's biology. But here's the good news. You're not helpless, not even close. Emerging research is flipping the narrative on aging and muscle loss. For the first time, science is showing that sarcopenia can not only be slowed, it can be reversed. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that with the right diet alone, over 90% of seniors regained significant muscle strength in just 6 weeks. Let me repeat that. No intense workouts, no expensive treatments. Just food. Strategic, intentional food. That changes everything. Now imagine sitting down to a warm bowl of brown rice. Simple, right? But did you know that humble bowl of grains could be helping you fight back against muscle loss? Brown rice often gets overshadowed by flashier health foods, but this everyday staple is a quiet powerhouse. Unlike white rice, which is stripped of nutrients during processing, brown rice retains its bran and germ. That means it's packed with complex carbohydrates, fiber, magnesium, and B vitamins, all essential for muscle function and recovery. Magnesium, in particular, plays a vital role in muscle contraction and energy production. Without it, your muscles tire more easily and recover more slowly. And since aging bodies often struggle to absorb nutrients efficiently, every bite counts. Brown rice offers a steady, slow-burning energy source that helps prevent the fatigue and weakness associated with sarcopenia. But brown rice is just the beginning. Other foods, some you probably already have in your pantry, can make a huge difference. Take eggs, for example. They're one of the highest quality sources of protein available, and they contain all 9 essential amino acids. These amino acids are the building blocks your muscles need to grow and repair. In older adults, eating a protein-rich breakfast, such as scrambled eggs or a hard-boiled egg with whole grain toast, has been shown to improve muscle retention and reduce the risk of falls. Then there's Greek yogurt. Not only is it rich in protein, but it's also packed with calcium and probiotics, which support bone health and digestion. Studies have shown that seniors who consume dairy regularly have better balance and coordination. And better balance means fewer falls and more confidence when walking, climbing stairs, or even just standing up from chair. Leafy greens deserve a shout out too. Spinach, kale, and arugula are high in nitrates, which improve blood flow to muscles and enhance exercise performance. That improved circulation can make a noticeable difference in how your body uses oxygen during movement. In other words, your muscles don't just get stronger, they get more efficient. Let's not forget fatty fish like salmon and mackerel. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which not only reduce inflammation, but also help stimulate muscle protein synthesis. According to a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who supplemented with omega-3s saw a significant increase in muscle mass and strength, even without changing their exercise routine. So yes, food matters. And no, it's never too late to start. Even if you're 80, 85, 90, you can rebuild muscle. You can feel stronger. You can regain the independence you thought was slipping away. It's not about lifting heavy weights or running marathons. It's about making simple, consistent changes. Swapping white rice for brown. Adding an egg to your breakfast. Including one serving of Greek yogurt in your daily routine. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to do what it already wants to do. Heal, grow, and thrive. And the best part? These changes don't just affect your muscles. They ripple out into every part of your life. Better muscle strength means fewer falls, fewer hospital visits, more freedom, more energy to enjoy your hobbies, play with your grandchildren, take walks with friends, or simply get out of bed without fear. Too many people resign themselves to decline. They believe weakness is inevitable, but it's not. With the right choices, you can push back against the slow fade. You can stand tall. You can feel steady. You can reclaim your power one meal at a time. You've already taken the first step by listening. Now, take the next one. Look at what's on your plate. Make small, powerful adjustments. And remember, you're not just feeding your body. You're feeding your strength, your balance, your future. Eleanor never thought something as simple as walking down her garden path would feel like a workout. But recently, she found herself stopping halfway, catching her breath, her legs feeling heavier than they used to. Not painful, just tired, slower. Her balance wasn't what it used to be either. And while she hadn't fallen, she'd had more than one close call. She brushed it off at first. Just aging, she told herself. It's normal. But deep down, something didn't sit right. She was eating. She was moving. So why did everything feel harder? What Eleanor didn't know, what most people don't know, is that many of these quiet changes in strength and stability are linked to muscle loss. Not dramatic muscle wasting you can see in a mirror, but a slow, steady decline that starts around middle age and accelerates with every passing year. By the time someone reaches their 60s or 70s, they may have already lost up to a third of their muscle mass. And here's the thing, you don't have to be bedridden or inactive for this to happen. Even healthy, active older adults are affected. The body simply gets less efficient at rebuilding muscle as it ages. And unless we give it the right tools, the right fuel, it struggles to keep up. One of those tools? Carbohydrates. But not just any carbs. Carbs have gotten a bad reputation in recent years, often blamed for weight gain and fatigue. But the truth is more nuanced. Carbohydrates are the body's primary source of energy. And for older adults, that energy isn't just about staying awake. It's about being able to move, walk, lift, and participate in life. What matters is the type of carbohydrate. Take brown rice. On the surface, it might look unremarkable, but behind its nutty taste and chewy texture, is a powerhouse of support for aging muscles. Brown rice is a complex carbohydrate, which means it breaks down slowly in the body, releasing energy gradually instead of all at once. This slow release helps keep blood sugar levels stable, a crucial factor for seniors. Unstable blood sugar isn't just a concern for diabetics. When blood sugar spikes and crashes, it can leave anyone feeling drained, shaky, and irritable. For elderly people, that energy dip can mean the difference between getting up for a walk or staying in bed, between cooking a meal or skipping it altogether. Brown rice helps smooth out those peaks and valleys, giving you a steady supply of fuel. But brown rice offers more than just energy. It's rich in fiber, something many older adults don't get nearly enough of. Fiber supports healthy digestion, which can slow down with age. It keeps things moving, prevents constipation, and even helps regulate blood sugar, all of which contribute to a sense of lightness and readiness to move. Then there's magnesium. Brown rice contains a generous dose of this underrated mineral, which plays a key role in muscle function. Every time you move a muscle, whether you're standing, reaching, or even blinking, magnesium is involved. It helps regulate the electrical impulses that trigger muscle contractions. Without enough magnesium, muscles can cramp, twitch, or feel stiff. For older adults who often experience more nighttime leg cramps or tightness after walking, this mineral becomes even more essential. And let's not forget vitamin B12. While brown rice isn't a direct source of B12, since B12 comes primarily from animal products, it contains other B vitamins that support energy metabolism. And here's where things connect. B12 is critical for making red blood cells and keeping the nervous system healthy. Without enough of it, people may feel weak, numb, or off balance. Unfortunately, B12 absorption declines with age, making it something older adults should keep a close eye on through both diet and supplements if needed. Still, Eleanor wasn't just interested in rice. She wanted variety, something she could mix into salads, soups, or even breakfast dishes. That's when her granddaughter introduced her to quinoa. At first, Eleanor was skeptical. "Looks like birdseed," she joked. But after one bite, fluffy, slightly nutty, and surprisingly satisfying, she was hooked. And more importantly, her body thanked her. Unlike most grains, quinoa is a complete protein. That means it contains all 9 essential amino acids, the building blocks of muscle, that our bodies can't make on their own. This is incredibly rare in plant-based foods, and it's incredibly valuable for older adults. You see, as we age, our bodies get less efficient at turning the protein we eat into muscle. This means we need not only enough protein, but the right kind, high quality, easily digested, and balanced in its amino acid profile. Quinoa fits the bill perfectly. A single cup of cooked quinoa delivers about 8 grams of protein. And thanks to its gentle texture and mild flavor, it's easy to incorporate into any meal. Eleanor started replacing her white rice with quinoa a few times a week. Then she started adding it to roasted vegetables, mixing it into soups, even stirring it into her morning eggs. She didn't change everything at once, but she was consistent. Over time, she noticed small shifts. Her legs didn't tire as quickly. Her arms felt stronger lifting groceries. And her balance, the thing she feared losing the most, began to return. Science backs up her experience. In one study, older adults who consumed a diet rich in high-quality plant proteins like quinoa showed better muscle preservation over time compared to those who relied mainly on processed carbs or insufficient protein sources. Quinoa's unique blend of protein and fiber works synergistically to support blood sugar control and muscle repair. Fiber, once again, plays a key role here. Like brown rice, quinoa helps slow the absorption of glucose into the bloodstream, creating a steady release of energy that lasts for hours. This steady fuel is essential for preventing the midday slump so common in seniors, the kind that leads to skipped walks or shortened conversations. And it's not just about protein and fiber. Quinoa is packed with iron, which helps carry oxygen in the blood, critical for muscles to perform well. Low iron means low stamina. That's why seniors low in iron often feel winded after light activity. Quinoa offers a plant-based solution that's easy to absorb when paired with vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes or citrus. It also boasts magnesium, again supporting muscle contractions and nerve signals. And those B vitamins? They're here too, helping turn the food you eat into usable energy and supporting brain function at the same time. The result? Eleanor didn't just feel stronger. She moved stronger. She started gardening again. She walked to the post office instead of driving. She even signed up for a weekly Tai Chi class, something she'd put off for years. What changed wasn't just her diet. It was her confidence. She no longer felt like her body was slipping away. She felt like it was still hers, capable, responsive, and alive. And it all started not with a pill, not with a gym membership, but with two humble foods sitting quietly in her pantry: brown rice and quinoa. Would you like me to continue this narrative with the next set of senior-friendly, muscle-supporting foods and how they can be integrated into daily life? When Eleanor moved into her daughter's guest house after turning 75, she didn't expect her energy to dip so quickly. She had always been the kind of woman who walked briskly in the mornings, did her own gardening, and even joined community Tai Chi classes. But a few months into retirement life, she noticed the small things first: difficulty climbing stairs, getting winded while carrying groceries, and needing longer naps. Her daughter, Amy, gently brought up the idea of adjusting her diet, especially focusing on foods that could support her muscle health and energy. That suggestion, as simple as it sounded, turned into a journey that changed Eleanor's aging experience. One of the first things Amy introduced to Eleanor's kitchen was quinoa. Eleanor had never cooked with it before. She was more of a white rice and mashed potatoes kind of woman. But Amy explained that quinoa wasn't just a trendy food. It was a complete protein, meaning it had all 9 essential amino acids the body needed for muscle repair and growth. For older adults, that fact was a game changer. As we age, our bodies naturally lose muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. The National Institute on Aging highlights that this can start as early as age 30 and becomes more pronounced with each decade. Muscle loss not only affects strength, but also mobility, balance, and even immune function. Protein is critical in countering this decline. Quinoa, with about 8 grams of protein per cup, offered Eleanor a highly digestible, plant-based option. She started adding it to soups, mixing it with roasted veggies, and even using it as a breakfast base with fruits and nuts. Another quiet hero Amy brought home was walnuts. Eleanor already enjoyed a few with her afternoon tea, but never realized they did more than taste good. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, walnuts help reduce inflammation, a hidden but serious contributor to muscle breakdown and joint discomfort. As we age, chronic low-grade inflammation can become more common, increasing risks of muscle loss and mobility issues. Omega-3s, particularly the alpha-linolenic acid, ELA, found in plant sources like walnuts, help regulate this inflammation. Beyond that, walnuts carry about 4 grams of protein per ounce and are full of vitamin E and polyphenol, powerful antioxidants. These compounds protect muscle tissues from oxidative stress, which can accelerate aging and weaken the body's recovery after physical activity. Amy encouraged her mother to sprinkle crushed walnuts on her quinoa, toss them in salads, or eat a small handful with fruit. That one small addition made Eleanor's muscles feel less tight after her morning walks, and her energy levels were more stable. Then came the blueberries. Eleanor had always loved them in muffins, but had never thought of them as a health food. Amy explained that their deep blue color comes from anthocyanins, a type of antioxidant that helps protect the body from free radical damage. These free radicals, when unchecked, contribute to muscle fatigue, aging, and longer recovery times after exercise. Research from Tufts University shows that older adults who consume berries regularly maintain better muscle function and recover faster from physical activity. Eleanor, skeptical at first, began adding a cup of fresh or frozen blueberries to her morning oatmeal or yogurt. Within weeks, she noticed that her post-walk soreness had eased, and her knees didn't creak as much when she bent down to tend the garden. Blueberries also provide vitamin C, which plays a crucial role in collagen production, key to maintaining the strength and flexibility of muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Plus, their potassium content helps regulate muscle contractions and maintain fluid balance, preventing cramps and fatigue. Amy didn't stop there. She introduced flax seeds, those tiny brown specks that Eleanor used to ignore in the health aisle. Flax seeds are rich in fiber, protein, and especially omega-3 fatty acids in the form of ALA. Regular intake of these seeds has been linked to lower inflammation levels, improved cardiovascular health, and better muscle recovery. The best part was how easy it was to include them. Amy ground the seeds at home to improve absorption and stirred them into Eleanor's smoothies, oatmeal, and even homemade muffins. 1 tablespoon a day brought in nutritional punch without overwhelming Eleanor's routine. The fiber also helped her digestion, something she hadn't realized had become sluggish until it improved. All these small changes didn't happen overnight. It took Eleanor a few weeks to get used to these new ingredients, and there were days she still longed for a simple buttered toast breakfast. But gradually, she found that her energy was no longer dipping by midday. Her walks around the neighborhood extended by a few more blocks. Her knees felt stronger, and best of all, she began attending Tai Chi again with confidence. Science backs what Eleanor experienced. As aging progresses, maintaining muscle mass and function becomes more than just an aesthetic concern. It's essential for independence, balance, and overall health. The Mayo Clinic states that consistent intake of high-quality proteins, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory nutrients helps preserve muscle tissue, supports immune response, and reduces the risk of chronic conditions. Eleanor's story isn't unique. Many seniors struggle to find the right balance of nutrients, energy, and taste as they age. But what she and Amy discovered was that the answer wasn't in expensive supplements or complicated meal plans. It was in whole, everyday foods that have quietly nourished people for generations. Now, every Sunday, Eleanor and Amy prepare a week's worth of meals together. Quinoa salads, walnut-studded yogurt bowls, blueberry smoothies, and flaxseed granola have become staples. These dishes aren't just nourishing her body. They're fueling a new chapter of life that feels vibrant and empowered. Eleanor often smiles and says, "I may be in my 70s, but my muscles feel like they remember my 40s. And the truth is, they do. The unspoken advantage plant substances called lignans, which have strong antioxidant qualities and shield muscle cells from oxidative damage, are found in flax seeds. Additionally, they are a great source of soluble and insoluble fiber, which supports digestive health and improves the absorption of nutrients that support muscle growth. Apart from their ability to reduce inflammation, flax seeds are also a fantastic source of dietary fiber. A healthy gut is crucial for food absorption, and fiber is necessary for digestive health. As they age, seniors frequently experience digestive issues that can affect how well their bodies absorb protein and other essential nutrients needed for maintaining muscle mass. Both soluble and insoluble fiber found in flax seeds support gut health, control bowel motions, and maintain healthy digestion. The body can efficiently employ the nutrients it consumes to assist muscle growth and repair. When the digestive system is in good working order, another important element in maintaining muscle mass is protein. And flax seeds offer a plant-based source of this vital macronutrient. Flax seeds assist seniors fulfill their nutritional needs by contributing to their daily protein intake, even though they might not have as much protein as animal-based sources. Flax seeds are a great supplement to any diet that aims to maintain strength and mobility because their protein contains important amino acids that are required for muscle regeneration. How should I utilize it? Eat 1 to 2 tablespoons of flax seed powder per day. Whole seeds go through without being broken down. For a simple way to maintain strength, add them to baked goods, yogurt, cereal, and smoothies. 6. The protein of the night is cottage cheese. Your muscles are craving. For older adults in particular, cottage cheese is a really underappreciated food in terms of muscle health. Cottage cheese is especially high in casein protein, which has a sluggish rate of digestion in contrast to many other dairy products. This slow-release protein is perfect for maintaining and recovering muscles, since it helps give the body a consistent supply of amino acids. Cottage cheese's extraordinarily high protein content is one of the main factors contributing to its many health benefits for seniors. Cottage cheese is a great source of high-quality protein that aids in promoting muscle protein synthesis with about 25 grams of protein per cup. Seniors must eat extra protein to promote muscle growth and repair because, as we age, our muscles become less responsive to protein intake. A simple and convenient approach to satisfy these higher protein requirements is with cottage cheese. For reducing muscle breakdown, cottage cheese's casein protein is especially helpful. In contrast to proteins that break down quickly, like whey, casein distributes amino acids into the bloodstream gradually, giving muscles a steady supply of nourishment over a number of hours. This makes it a great choice for a snack before bed since it keeps muscles from losing their mass when the body is fasting. Seniors can feel stronger and more energized when they wake up by eating foods high in casein before bed. Cottage cheese is rich in other vital elements that support muscle health in addition to its protein-boosting properties. It is a great source of calcium, which is essential for healthy bones and muscle contraction. Osteoporosis, which weakens bones and increases the risk of fractures, is more common in seniors. They can promote the health of their muscles and bones at the same time by eating foods high in calcium, such as cottage cheese. Another excellent source of B vitamins, especially vitamin B12, is cottage cheese. Red blood cell production and neuron function, both of which are critical for preserving muscle strength and coordination, depend on this vitamin. Muscle weakness, exhaustion, and even neurological issues that impair mobility can result from B12 deficiencies. Seniors can be sure they are getting enough of this important vitamin to maintain general muscular function by include cottage cheese in their diet. As muscle breakdown increases as you sleep, your body goes through a protracted period of hunger. Before bed, cottage cheese offers a steady stream of nutrients that support muscles all night long. Take action. Select sugar-free, natural varieties for taste and extra nutrition. Add honey, walnuts, or berries. You may protect what others your age are losing quickly by eating it 3 or 4 times a week, especially in the nights. 7. Greek yogurt, the powerhouse for muscle building. Greek yogurt is revolutionary for both general muscle preservation and overnight recovery. Greek yogurt is the most comprehensive and effective food for preserving muscle. Up to 20 grams of premium protein are contained in just 170 g of this concentrated food after it is filtered to eliminate whey and concentrate proteins. Its protein-type casein is where the real power is found. It is ideal for eating at night since your body breaks it down slowly, releasing amino acids over the course of hours. As muscle breakdown increases as you sleep, your body goes through a protracted period of hunger. Greek yogurt right before bed promotes a steady flow of nutrients which keeps muscles nourished all night long. When my Uncle Robert turned 70, he started to notice small changes that others might have dismissed. He struggled to open jars he once twisted with ease, and he found himself hesitating before standing from his favorite recliner. Just old age, his friends told him. But Robert wasn't ready to give up the strength he'd spent his whole life building. He started reading, experimenting, and keeping a notebook of every food, habit, and routine that seemed to help. And while there's no miracle cure for aging, what he learned helped him regain control over his body, and his story became something he began to share with others, especially when it came to food. One of the first changes Robert made was introducing Greek yogurt into his daily meals. He hadn't given it much thought before, just another item in the dairy aisle, but it quickly became a small act of defense against muscle loss. What makes Greek yogurt different from regular yogurt, and why should anyone care? For starters, it's packed with more protein per serving, which is critical for older adults. But more than that, Greek yogurt is rich in phosphorus, calcium, and vitamin D, nutrients your bones and muscles rely on to stay strong. Research has shown that as we age, chronic low-level inflammation begins to silently erode our muscles. But probiotics, the healthy bacteria found in Greek yogurt, may help fight back. These probiotics don't just sit quietly in your gut. They influence how nutrients are absorbed, how efficiently your immune system functions, and how inflamed or calm your body feels. A healthy gut flora, especially in seniors, is linked to better overall nutrient absorption and lower systemic inflammation, two key factors in muscle repair and recovery. Robert used to think yogurt was more of a breakfast food, something you'd toss berries into and eat with a spoon while reading the paper. But when he learned that Greek yogurt contains small amounts of creatine, yes, the same compound bodybuilders use to build muscle, he started adding it to his evening snack. Creatine is naturally found in our muscles and helps with quick energy bursts. While Greek yogurt doesn't offer the same amount as supplements do, every bit helps, especially when you're fighting to preserve what age wants to take away. He opted for the full-fat version, too. While some people avoid fat like the plague, it turns out that full-fat Greek yogurt contains more fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, and supports the body's natural hormone production. Hormones like testosterone and estrogen play a significant role in maintaining muscle mass, and healthy fat consumption can help stabilize them, especially during the later years when levels naturally decline. Robert always went for the sugar-free, natural versions. If I want it sweet, I'll sweeten it myself, he told me. Sometimes he'd drizzle a little honey, toss in a few crushed walnuts, or mix in blueberries for extra antioxidants and fiber. The point wasn't to turn it into dessert, but to make it something nourishing he looked forward to. He began eating it 3 to 4 times a week, often as a light dinner. It gives my muscles something to work with while I sleep, he joked. But Greek yogurt wasn't the only weapon in his kitchen. On Sundays, Robert made it a point to prepare a big fillet of salmon or mackerel, what he called his omega booster. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, tuna, and mackerel are among the best natural sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These aren't just heart-friendly fats. They directly improve how your muscle cells respond to protein. As people get older, their bodies naturally become less efficient at processing protein. That's why older adults need not only more protein, but protein paired with nutrients that improve how well it's used. Omega-3s do exactly that. They increase the sensitivity of muscle tissue to the amino acids from your meals, making each bite more effective at supporting muscle maintenance and growth. That's not all. Omega-3s also reduce inflammation, especially the kind that accumulates in joints and muscles with age. This matters more than people realize. Joint pain doesn't just hurt, it stops people from moving. And when movement stops, muscle loss accelerates. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed fatty fish twice a week maintained better strength and mobility over a 3-year period compared to those who didn't. It wasn't just the protein. It was the combination of anti-inflammatory fats, vitamin D, and highly bioavailable amino acids working together. Robert noticed that when he ate salmon regularly, his knees didn't ache as much on morning walks. He grilled it with herbs and lemon, never fried, and always avoided canned fish high in sodium. Why undo all the good with too much salt, he'd say. He aimed for 2 to 3 servings per week. It's enough to keep things running smoothly, like oiling an old engine. Still, some days, fish wasn't on the menu. That's where lean proteins came in. Robert used to avoid red meat, fearing cholesterol, like many in his generation. But as he learned more, he realized it wasn't the meat itself that was the problem. It was how much and how it was prepared. He began choosing lean cuts like sirloin or tenderloin and grilled them with vegetables. These cuts are rich in leucine, a powerful amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. The body's ability to recognize this trigger weakens with age, meaning older adults need a stronger signal to get the same effect. That's where high leucine foods come in. Lean meat, eggs, cottage cheese, and whey protein all deliver that strong signal. One study from McMaster University showed that seniors who ate enough protein and participated in light resistance training, think resistance bands or walking uphill, gained significantly more muscle mass than those who did nothing. It wasn't about lifting heavy weights. It was about giving the body the right building blocks and a reason to use them. Robert didn't lift weights, but he did push-ups against the kitchen counter and squats using a chair for balance. He paired that with lean protein meals spaced throughout the day, never loading all his protein into a single meal. This distribution helps the body use protein more effectively, studies show. A 100-gram portion of lean beef delivers about 25 grams of complete protein, along with iron, zinc, and B vitamins, essential nutrients for oxygen transport, metabolism, and energy. He also tried plant-based combinations on occasion, quinoa with lentils, chickpea salad with whole grain toast, to keep things interesting and fiber-rich. By mixing his protein sources and spreading them out evenly, Robert was giving his body a fighting chance to retain what nature slowly chips away. Every meal became a small act of resistance, a quiet declaration that aging didn't mean giving up. It meant getting smarter. As he often said, you can't stop the years, but you can decide how you face them, strong or struggling. And the strength to do that, he believed, began in the kitchen. Would you like me to continue with the next part of Robert's approach to staying strong into his later years?